I went up in the lift. I did not realize that she soon followed thereafter, because she wanted to go up and have a tour of board games, which she really can't do because they don't offer tours. It's an office and people are trying to work. So when I left my session, I was called into the front office and asked, "Did you tell someone they could come up and have a tour here?" Actually, no, quite the opposite. I said, "Don't go up there. I'm going up there. You can't. You don't work there." But she went anyway, and I got a nice lecture, and I went back online and said, "Never do that again. You got me in trouble." And I then stopped talking to people online for a couple of months after that. But yeah, it was awkward. Boundaries.
Yeah, seriously.
But then there's my best man story, I guess. I was with the family at a fun fair in New Jersey, and fairly early on in the Eggman career, I guess. And we were sitting enjoying a relaxing beverage when some kid walked by with a giant plush Sonic on his shoulders. It was the big midway prize of the year, and he won one. He was dragging it home. So I thought to myself, shall I? Yes, I shall. So I casually continued sipping my beverage and yelled, "Look, it's Sonic!" The kid's head whipped around. Didn't know where that was coming from, and I didn't own up to it. I went right back to my drink and said, "Don't look at me."
That is genius.
Questions, guys?
Any questions? Got a couple of them.
Questions for David. How did you get approached for the voice of Raymond in Resident Evil Revelations?
How I got approached for the voice for Raymond in Resident Evil. I actually had auditioned for another version of Resident Evil, and I didn't get that part. I auditioned for it, just like everybody else, and I had missed out on the one, and luckily, I guess they liked me enough and said, "Hey, you know what, let's bring him back to audition for another series." Luckily, I was sitting at home this night at 10 o'clock at night, I get an email, and they're like, "David, can you submit an audition at this late hour? We need it. Can you come in, can you submit this audition? We'll let you know within 24 hours. And so I submitted the audition, and luckily I won the job. So, and a lot of what you don't know, just in case, when I first started out in voice acting, you had to go, I mean, I used to have a mountain bike when I lived in Manhattan, and I would literally go from audition to audition to audition to audition to audition on my bike. And now, and the same thing when I moved to Los Angeles, is you were stuck in traffic all day going between auditions. Now, technology is such that I built a little studio in my office, and I'm able to audition from home. And so a lot of times now, you get the audition at the last minute, and you have to crank it out, get it turned around and sent back right away. So yeah, anyway, I digress. That's how I won the job for Raymond.
I'll add to that, just this weekend I brought my little travel mic, actually not so little, it comes in a big hefty travel case. And I had a couple of emergency fixes to a couple of online videos that I did. One was for some home insurance policy plan thing, and one was for some independent film that I certainly hope no one ever sees. They had an off-screen FBI guy that they needed to redub. Apparently they actually needed to go on a Craigslist and find someone, so I said, all right, I got a moment, but he submitted a response to this ad, and I got booked for it. It's like people that have never done audio of any kind. So I sent them stuff. The best part of this, by the way, was the scene was outside. Normally when you're recording replacement dialogue, you're in a studio and they add sound effects later. The producer of the film wrote to say, so since the scene is outside, would you be recording outside or near an open window? That's really not how it's done. But they decided the line was, please freeze and drop your weapon. No, I'm sorry, it was, please drop the gun and surrender your weapon. So, then they needed fixes. They wanted, freeze, drop the gun, surrender your weapon. Fine. I got on a plane, flew over here, received an email saying, now we want it to be FBI, freeze and drop your weapon. All right, so I was in my hotel room, ushered the family out of the room momentarily, and reported FBI, 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 FBI from the hotel room. And apparently place that into the bill. Same with the other videos, so I was able to work remotely from the hotel. It can be. And yet still, with in New York, we're still doing in-person auditions far too often. But that's not relevant to anyone's question.
When you record the voices, do you get to meet all the other characters as well? Is there like, do you meet lots of people in your work, and do you know lots of other voice actors? And is it like quite an exclusive club where you know each other?
For dubbing anime, what we do. I mean, actually, I have quite a few voice actor friends that we work on a lot of projects together. But when you're dubbing anime, you're doing what's called ADR, and so you're dubbing over animation that's already animated, and so you pretty much are by yourself in the booth the whole time. If you're doing a video game, it's pretty much the same thing. You're in the booth by yourself. If you're doing an original animation, then yeah, you're actually in kind of like a round half circle with microphones, and you all get to actually work together and read it at the same time, which is always a lot of fun.
When you're dubbing anime and video games, you get a lot of what I like to think of as 5-minute frames. You see them coming and going. Hey, I just got it. Hey, gotta go. Gotta see the great pop. So yes, they're kind of French, but they're like things you really want to see more of, but can't because you're always working right before or after they're working. And then when doing a lot of the relay stuff that David was mentioning, I'm doing a lot of, I've done a couple of those with Sonic Dash and some of the recent games. They're in LA, I'm in New York. They flown me out a couple of times, which is really cool. It's also really pricey. Not only are you paying me for my time and energy and effort, you're paying for a plane, you're paying for a hotel. Not really cost effective. So lately when they've needed me on games and we're all working together, everyone is in a room, and I'm in a different room several thousand miles away on a fancy digital phone line talking about it. So yes, we're kind of working together, but you can't really chat because you don't have face-to-face interaction. But seeing them all in person was really cool because I had done a couple of games when the cast changed, and I hadn't met any of them for a year. And then, hey, look, oh, you're you, hey, I'm me. So yes, it's a club. Wish you could join.